Welcome to this energy update about this Taurus full moon that is happening on November the 15th, 16th, so this Friday, Saturday. And I'm sure you can feel the energy of it already. It is definitely present. Scorpio has been making its mark throughout all of Scorpio season. So I want to touch a little bit on the shadow aspects of both this Taurus full moon and the Scorpio energies that are very present. So the sun being in the sign of Scorpio and the moon being in the sign of Taurus are creating this opposition. It's creating this tension, both internally and externally. And I just want to touch on like different examples and kind of guide you through what the energy is really doing and what it's bringing up from within you so that you can get a better understanding of what you're moving through right now, especially if your life is in chaos, especially if you're experiencing a lot of stress, a lot of drama, a lot of different things that are very unpleasant or uncomfortable. So with the negative aspects, of course, there are very positive aspects. And like the astrology is always serving us to become better versions of ourselves, right? The astrology is always playing out and energetically affecting us in a way that helps us to see where we are limiting ourselves, where we are holding ourselves back, where we are still stuck in life in one way or another. And because Taurus is a tangible earth sign, this connects to finances, this connects to our earthly needs, our physical needs. And so it's delivering a lot of messages to us about that, about like, where you are at, how you are feeling about those things. And, are you allowing more of that into your life? And because there's such instability in the energy right now, and I'm sure you've noticed throughout this entire month so far, there's been sort of a lot of instability, a lot of intense energies. Taurus being ruled by Venus is actually showing us and guiding us back to this foundation that we have within ourselves. And it's asking you to step away from the external chaos and step away from everything that is really making you unstable. And it's reminding you that you have this foundation that is a foundation of stability that you can always return to anytime, anywhere. It is reminding us not to give our power away to external circumstances, not to give our power away to like other people. And it's reminding you that anytime that you feel like your life is falling apart, or that you feel like you're falling apart, that you have this internal foundation within you. You have this safety, this security, this place of wisdom within you, this place of peace that you can return to within yourself. Taurus is reminding you that you are your own foundation and that you have everything within you to manifest your greatest potential. And as a matter of fact, that it is only up to you to manifest your greatest potential. So during this full moon, feel this within yourself and release anything that is making you doubt that. This full moon is also highlighting our comfort zones. So there's this big emphasis on, where you feel comfortable in your life and how you feel like those comfort zones are nurturing you, or perhaps in the past you felt like they were nurturing you, when in actual reality, they have been holding you back. So it's kind of like this reality check of the comfort zone that you thought was safe is actually preventing your growth. It's a reminder that your comfort zones are blocking your manifestations. Like they are blocking you from becoming this truly powerful version of yourself because it's so familiar that it really leads to a lot of stagnation, right? Think of what a comfort zone is and why we call it a comfort zone. That's exactly what it is. It's like this cushy place that you stay in for long periods of time, not realizing that like, wow, like nothing is changing, nothing is evolving, nothing, like I'm not really growing here because I just keep doing the same old, same old. It's like this like routine or habit or something that you loop in over and over that absolutely prevents growth from happening. Because I mean, let's be honest here. Okay, comfort zones are familiar and that's why we like them, where growth is unfamiliar. And that's why we don't like them. And that's why we don't embrace growth a lot of times, right? Growth is not always comfortable, is it? Now, some examples of comfort zones that I wrote down here would be like people, places, things, attitudes, habits, perspectives, the way you look at a situation. Like there could be a comfort zone of like always looking at something the same way and refusing to look at it in any other way. And you're only looking at it in the same way all the time because that's what's familiar to you, because that's what you're used to. Even drama. I find a lot of people have a comfort zone of always experiencing drama, always being in some kind of dramatic situation. Addiction, drama addiction. And our comfort zones often show up in the most like familiar places, in the most like mundane and routine places. So this could be jobs, always going for the same type of job, always going for the same type of like job environment, repetitive conflicts, choosing very similar partners all the time. So when you get out of a relationship, maybe the next relationship you go into, you tend to choose somebody that's pretty similar to the previous relationship, or like the same dynamics play out in the new relationship that played out in the old relationship. That's an example, or that's an indication that you are like manifesting that. Like you just keep going for what is comfortable, what is familiar for you, even if you don't like it, even if it really bothers you, and even if it's something that causes you a lot of pain. Staying in the same city, region, or area, staying in the same location for long periods of time, even that's a comfort zone thing where you're not really flexible, you're not willing to move, you're not willing to, try living in a different location or in a different area. That too can be a comfort zone, right? It can be very comforting to stay in a city that you're familiar with, to stay in a place that you already know like the back of your hand, or that you feel comfortable with. And a lot of times what I find when I'm talking to people is that even like not really being willing to move outside of a certain zone or outside of a certain area, even if they don't particularly like that area, very much connects to how they're addicted to sort of the drama or the repetitiveness of, or the familiarity of that area that they live in. Another example of a comfort zone would be like repetitive unhealthy habits. And this could be like justifying overspending, for example. So if you're someone that justifies overspending, and you know you're overspending, but you're always justifying it to yourself, well, I deserve it, or I work really hard for my money, and this is why I do it, and blah, blah, blah. That's actually a comfort zone too. Because usually when we're overspending, that will show up as stress in another area of our lives, right? It's also a deep habit of compensation, like you're compensating for something, right? You're trying to fill a void with that overspending or with that over shopping. Shopping addiction, that's another huge one. A lot of people have shopping addiction. And because we're under this Taurus full moon, Taurus, the tangible, the physical, is wanting to highlight this right now in your life big time. Are you someone who constantly has to buy something? Are you constantly ordering stuff on Amazon? Like you're addicted to, the packages showing up on your porch every freaking week. Like these are just all different forms and different addictions that we have that this Taurus full moon is highlighting, so that you can recognize those imbalances in your life, that you can recognize like, damn, maybe I'm filling a void, with the shopping addiction. Maybe there is a certain level of comfort that I get from those packages showing up, or from those bags that I'm hauling in the house every week. This can even show up as something very mundane and simple in your daily life, like going to bed really late every night, right? That's a comfort zone. Or scrolling instead of doing some type of a self-care routine that would be really good for you, and then justifying the scrolling, or saying that, I don't have time for self-care. I never have time for myself, right? These are comfort zones, like very unhealthy comfort zones that this Taurus full moon is highlighting, and it wants us to see them. It wants us to recognize how we get in our own way, how we perpetuate stagnation, and how we prevent ourselves from manifesting a truly better life for ourselves. On the positive, though, this Taurus full moon reminds us that in order to leave a comfort zone, you need to have inner resilience. You need to have inner trust. You need to be confident within yourself and trust the unknown, trust the new that you want to move into, and trust in your own capability that you can move into it. This is like a deep knowing of trusting in yourself and knowing that you can rely on yourself no matter which way your road turns, no matter which direction life takes you. This full moon really wants you to understand that you can always bring yourself back home, that you are the key to bring yourself back to stability, to bring yourself out of stagnation, to bring yourself back into a place of balance and peace within your own life, within yourself, that you possess all the tools that you will ever need to manifest an absolutely awesome life for yourself. And those tools are already within you. They're not outside of you, right? Taurus, the tangible, outside. Taurus is like the external world, right? And us always looking to the external world to fix our issues, to fix our problems. But the Taurus full moon is actually saying, go within, because all of your answers, all of your solutions are actually inside of you. And this knowing, this deep trust within yourself is what actually enables you to venture into the unknown with confidence, with a sense of peace, with a sense of knowing like, I got my own back no matter what happens, no matter where the road takes me, no matter how things turn out. I always have my own back, and I always have my own support, and that I have this capability within me to overcome whatever situation I'm in or whatever challenge I end up facing. So really, in essence, this full moon is highlighting your personal power, your perseverance, your resilience, how strong you are. It's like personal strength. It's like trying to reveal that to you. It's trying to show that to you that, hey, you have that power within yourself. You have strength within yourself. Look at all the shit you've already overcome. Look at all the past difficulties you've already created solutions for. Don't allow yourself to fall into this trap of believing that you're not capable, that you can't do something, or that you can't accomplish something, or that you can't achieve something, that you can't manifest a really epically awesome life for yourself. It's like, don't fall into that trap. That's what this full moon is saying. So it's going to be really important during this full moon and under this full moon energy, which is we're already under it, to pause, find stillness, find that inner strength, connect to that inner strength on purpose, consciously. Let yourself dive deep into the unknown right now. Trust yourself as you do that, and release any fear that's holding you back. This is about really, truly knowing that you can always save yourself. That even if no one else has your back, you will always have your own back. And on the flip side, it's actually also asking you, do you have your own back? Are you going to continue getting in your own way? Are you going to continue stabbing yourself in the back? Scorpio season. Scorpio tends, which way is the little spike thing of Scorpio directed? It's directed towards the self, meaning that we have this tendency that's also highlighted because the sun is in Scorpio, right? So it's like, where do you have this tendency, or how deep is that tendency of yours to stab yourself in the back, to not support yourself, to not believe or not act upon having your own back? So with the moon in Taurus and with the sun in Scorpio, the energy of these two signs are actually opposing each other right now, confronting one another to help you integrate the energies of both of these signs, right? How much are you embodying some of those shadow aspects right now? And it's not about judging yourself for embodying some of those shadow aspects. It's actually just about recognizing, and it's actually mostly about accepting and acknowledging it. Knowing that, these shadow aspects are a part of you, they're a part of me, they're a part of all of us. So what are you feeling conflicted about within yourself right now? Is your ego telling you one thing while your heart is telling you another? This full moon wants you to address your inner conflicts. So this Taurus-Scorpio axis is like two sides of the same coin. Both sides guiding you back to the present moment. Both Taurus and Scorpio is asking you right now to be very present, to find stillness, to center your energy, to center yourself so that your thoughts are not overrunning and, ruining your life, so that your thoughts are not looping, perpetuating in negativity. This is a very important time for stillness. I mentioned in previous videos too that November is such a powerful manifestation month. So it's so important right now to not manifest things for yourself that you don't want, right? But rather to focus on manifesting things for yourself that you do want. And the only way you're going to do that is by focusing on having those things in your life already, by focusing on really embodying the energy of positivity, of faithfulness, of belief, and a feeling of worthiness, that you are worthy of really good things, that you are worthy of prosperity, of love, of all the things that you want in your life. You're worthy of an amazing job that you love, that is fulfilling to you. And then on the flip side, Scorpio is encouraging you to face all your shadows, to face your demons, to face different aspects of the shadow self, to look at the life cycle that you are currently in. It wants you to move through trauma, fear, pain, everything and anything that's holding you back, that is preventing you from being joyful, from feeling light, from being happy. And it wants you to notice that anything that is out of balance in your life, that anything that isn't the way that you want it to be, that it's all held together by one thread, like all the different parts of your life, the imbalance in all the different areas of your life are held together by the same thread. And that thread is usually a thread of fear. It is connected to some type of fear. So Scorpio is really asking you to experience like all the ups and downs of your life. It wants you to observe the ups and downs of your life. And after moving through this crazy roller coaster ride, to still be able to find peace, to like see the bigger picture, to zoom out and recognize how it all serves a purpose, how it is all ultimately guiding you back to your own power, to change what's not working, to instill a deep knowing within you that you can get through anything. So while Scorpio is like directing us inward, asking us to look at shadow aspects of ourselves and to face those shadow aspects head on, Taurus is actually doing the same thing. So Taurus is also guiding us back towards peace, but it is asking you to look outward for that peace, to recognize how your life is mirrored by the natural world, how your life also moves through cycles, just like nature, how you also have a summer season, a fall season, a spring, and a winter within your life. How your life also is like the ocean, where the tides move in and out, and sometimes the tide is in and things are abundant and flowing, and sometimes the tide moves out in your life and things become more scarce or more challenging. How you are like a tree, the way that a tree can be stable, firmly rooted, and grounded, even in a storm. So it's like Taurus is highlighting and mirroring back like how we are so much like the outside world, where Scorpio is asking us to look at the inside world and different parts of the inside of us that need reform, that need release, that need to be challenged right now. Really looked at, really acknowledged. It's about questioning your beliefs, your internal beliefs, and finding stability and groundedness and peace in the outside. So I'm really going to recommend to spend time in nature. I've been going out every single day, going for walks and doing all kinds of different things to keep myself grounded, to keep myself level. It makes me feel really good. There's always peace that I find in nature. So Taurus wants you to move beyond your emotions and see that you can find comfort through understanding that you are one with everything, that you are one with nature, that you move through life cycles just like nature does. Because this feeling of oneness is going to bring out like this really creative side to you. It's going to bring you a sense of peace, a sense of knowing that you're not the only one who moves through these life cycles, that you are not the only one who moves through difficulty, who moves through these challenges, who has to face their inner demons, who has to face their inner shadow, that we all collectively have these energies in our lives and that we have to move through this, all of us together. So Taurus is reminding you that you are not alone on this journey. And it's reminding you to move your attention and your focus off of drama and choose peace. Choose to focus on love. Can you choose to focus on all the positives in your life, all of the things that have worked out for you in the past, all of the things that are even continuing to work out for you now? Everything that is right in your life instead of all the things that are not right in your life. So now I want to talk about the shadow side of Scorpio and how that could be highlighted for you right now under this full moon energy. And one of the shadow aspects of Scorpio is being stuck in a constant loop of transformation. And this constant loop of transformation is making you feel like you're not enough all the time. It makes you feel like you have to continuously work on yourself, like you continuously have to keep doing something to improve upon yourself because you're not good as you are. So Scorpio is actually trying to highlight to you how you do that, how you are maybe stuck in this transformational loop of always feeling like you got to keep working on yourself, like you always have to keep doing more. You always have to keep improving upon yourself because something is inherently wrong with you. So that's really highlighted right now. Do you recognize yourself in that? Do you do that? Do you feel like you're always having to improve upon yourself? Notice how you might be attached or addicted to even like creating scenarios in your life that always force you to like grow, that always force you to have to like step up or have to, do something to evolve. And this can show up like this obsession of always focusing on the dark aspects of life. This is about always focusing on what you or another has to improve upon in order for things to be better, which also is constantly distracting you from seeing the beauty in life, from seeing the positive aspects of yourself or positive aspects of other people. So just kind of tap into that and see if you have some kind of an addiction to that. Do you always focus on the negative, or can you see the inherent good, the positive in every situation and in every person? People don't just have a shadow side, people also have a light side. Do you see that? Do you choose to see that? Do you see that within yourself? So it's like asking you to pause, and just have appreciation for yourself, have appreciation for your life, for where you have been and for who you have been. This is about having appreciation for who you are right now. This is also about loving every version of yourself. So it's like not just loving yourself when you're at your best, but loving yourself even when you're at your worst. And just like recognizing that, yeah, that's a part of me too. That's a shadow aspect of myself. And I can love that too, because that's also a part of me. And it doesn't mean that I always have to grow, and it doesn't mean that I always have to evolve and that I always have to keep working on myself. It's like, can you just let yourself be? Can you just like notice who you are? It's like self-awareness, but it doesn't mean that you're constantly having to poke at everything that you're doing wrong and then convincing yourself, well, now I got to do it differently, or now I have to, do that again, or now I have to apologize because I did this or I did that, right? It's just like stepping out of that constant scrutinization. So it's about giving yourself permission to just be who you are right now without feeling the need to have to work on anything, but just simply honoring and appreciating the person that you are right now in this moment. So those are like the shadow aspects or the different parts that Scorpio is really highlighting during this full moon. And then now let's look at how the shadow side of Taurus might be showing up for you right now. So you might be embodying the shadow aspect of Taurus right now by constantly looking outside of yourself. This is a constant need to gather more possessions, more time, more money, constantly feeling anxious about what you're lacking in your life and never feeling like you have enough, like enough of anything. Not enough time, not enough money, not enough resources, which is usually accompanied with not feeling centered either. So this might be like a preoccupation with the number in your bank account, right? Like maybe you're constantly checking your bank account to see what your balance is. Maybe you're obsessing over the packages that you're constantly getting. It's like this preoccupation of stuff outside of you and looking to external things to fill some type of a void within you. And this might even show up as like an addiction to like comfort foods, or an addiction to even like luxury items that you can't really afford, but you buy them anyway because it's like it gives you that false sense of security, or it gives you that false sense of identity, or that false sense of the tangible, the material, the physical, like wealth. And when you are embodying the shadow aspect of Taurus, what happens is that we tend to forget about our connection to nature. So we're not looking at nature as a tangible source of security, as a tangible source of peace that we can connect to at any time, but rather the emphasis becomes on stuff. So it actually really disconnects you, and it oftentimes causes a feeling of not being supported. Because those things, those external things that you're buying all the time, or those things that you're trying to fill that void with, doesn't really truly give you the support, right? It's stuff. And oftentimes the happiness or the joy that, or the excitement even that you experience with, buying something new, that's always fleeting. It doesn't last. Where when you instead go outside and go for like a really nice long walk in nature, or you go for a hike, that gives you a significantly longer fill, and it gives you a really deep sense of support. So the shadow side of Taurus is this constant seeking of physical comfort outside of yourself instead of turning inward for that same comfort. The shadow aspect of Taurus also makes you feel super insecure. So if you noticed that insecurity was really creeping up for you this week, or it is creeping up as we speak, then just know that it's the shadow aspect of this Taurus full moon energy that is being pushed to the surface within yourself, to acknowledge it, to recognize it, and to really kind of question, why do I really feel as insecure within myself as I do? And what can I do to support myself to feel more secure within myself? What can I do that's maybe a self-care practice, something that'll stabilize me, something that'll ground me into feeling a sense of peace and security again? Because when you're insecure, you forget about your inner resilience. You forget about your strength. And you're going to be looking outside of yourself for that strength, for that support, for something to make you feel secure. It's like external validation. You're going to be seeking constantly external validation when you are not providing that for yourself. What you also might find rising up within you right now is an excessive worry about abundance and an excessive focus on lack. So right now, you could be really seriously questioning whether you're even worthy of abundance, whether you're even worthy of, money, of having that safety and that security that money provides in our world. So if you're feeling really worried about money right now, just know that a lot of it is this energy that's pushing this to the surface, again, for no other purpose than for awareness. So if you find yourself really aligning to the shadow aspects right now of Taurus, then really just pay attention to your behavior right now. Like, what are the things that you're doing? How are you behaving? How are you acting? What is this energy bringing out of you? Are you checking your bank account constantly right now? Are you feeling really insecure in your work or in your place in the world? Or are you feeling really, really insecure within your connections or within a relationship? Are you not feeling worthy of abundance, something that is your birthright? Are you complicating your own life by constantly looking outside of yourself for answers, by constantly looking to others to tell you how or what to do, instead of going within, trusting yourself, trusting that deep foundation, that deep knowledge that you have within yourself, that you can only find through stillness, that you can only find through meditation, through quieting your mind? So if you are experiencing these shadow aspects of Taurus right now, just remind yourself that, these are all a part of you as well, that it's okay. Accept and acknowledge them. Don't gaslight yourself. Don't tell yourself that you're horrible because you are doing these things or because these fears are arising within you. You're not. Allow this energy to move through you. So it's like it comes up, you observe, maybe you journal about it, write it out, and then let it pass through. Don't attach to it. Don't give it a ton of meaning. Well, then this means that I still have to work on myself. Remember what I started saying in the beginning of the video? How a shadow aspect of Scorpio is where you can get obsessed with constantly transforming, constantly feeling like you're not good enough. This isn't the time to do that. These energies are just all about awareness. It's not to say that, you're majorly behind or that, you still have a ton of growing to do. Yeah, we all have growing to do. You're never going to stop growing internally as a person till the day you die. But it doesn't mean that you have to be hard on yourself or push yourself to the edge all the time just because you're not doing better. These shadow aspects of ourselves, they deserve acknowledgement. They deserve compassion. So resist the urge to overcomplicate it, to overanalyze these things within yourself right now. And instead, look for simple things that remind you of your strength, that remind you of all of the positives that you're doing. Remember, I talked about that earlier, about all the good things that you're doing. When we focus on the good within ourselves, that is what we tend to nurture and grow, right? It's like a seed that you're growing in your own internal garden. So just notice where repeating patterns are showing up in your life and simply make different choices that break these ongoing endless loops, these patterns in your life that cause you to feel trapped, that cause you to feel like you're stagnating, that cause you to feel like, nothing's changing or nothing's moving forward. Become aware of how your choices are constantly shaping your life, are constantly dictating the cycles of your life. And then notice the power that you have to choose different, to choose better. So just ask yourself if you're choosing certain patterns and even certain people in your life that keep you in a familiar cycle of drama that you would feel lost without. See, these are those identities that we shape and form within ourselves that sometimes we can have a really hard time letting go of. Because it's like, that's all you know. That's how you know yourself to be. Really look at your cycles right now relating to your finances or to abundance. And just kind of take a look and see if they are keeping you looping in this endless cycle of insecurity. You know, what are you attached to? What cycles are you looping in? What stories are you telling yourself about money or worthiness or whatever it is that keep you in insecurity constantly? What beliefs do you have around money? Maybe you believe that you can't have it, or that it doesn't come to you easily, or that you have to work really hard for it. You know, these are things to question right now. Full moon is about completing a cycle. It's about breaking a cycle. You can only break a cycle that you are aware of. So this full moon is really granting you an opportunity to see how you embody these shadow aspects of these signs, both Taurus and Scorpio, and how these shadow aspects block you from manifesting your vision, how they're causing you to be misaligned with your soul, how they are causing you to stagnate and repeat patterns you're probably sick of. So only through awareness of how you are embodying these aspects, these shadow aspects within yourself, can you actually break free from them and actually align your life to your maximum potential. Like, it's crazy how much we hold ourselves back, and in so many different ways. And it's always an inside job. Oftentimes, it's never the circumstances of outside of us or the circumstances of our lives that hold us back. It is our internal processing of that outside circumstance. It is how we respond to it. It is what we believe about ourselves and what we believe about those external circumstances and the stories that we tell about it. So this full moon is ultimately about breaking the foundations that keep you stuck, that keep you in insecurity, that keep you from having more of the tangible resources that you wish to have in your life, and that keep you looping in drama. So here's how you can support yourself under this full moon energy. Use tools that help you emotionally regulate, techniques that connect you to your body and your breath. Breath work is going to be really powerful under this full moon. So activities like yoga, meditation, things that connect you to your body, your physical body, going for hikes in nature, going for a run, doing a more strenuous workout, going for a walk, whatever it is, in whatever capacity you can do, whatever you can do, is going to be very helpful to level you out, to ground you, to bring you back into that security within yourself, to also connect you to the strength within yourself that you have. Hydrate a lot. I'm really getting that message for somebody, is like, drink more water, hydrate, salt baths, showers to cleanse your energy, burning sage and incense, again, to help with that emotional regulation, to help you reconnect to that internal peace, really taking time to quiet your mind, to find stillness within yourself and within the present moment. And as you're quieting your mind, really just observe your thoughts without giving them meaning. Now, I know this is a skill that takes a lifetime to master. You know, it really can take a long time to master this skill. But if you keep practicing, if you keep doing it, if this is a practice that you're willing to start under this full moon, then I think you're going to make very good progress with it. And you're just going to find eventually that you will get to a place where the thoughts will come, but you're not going to give it meaning. You're not going to allow it to sway you, to create emotional turbulence within you. Remember that a still mind gives you a place to rest from the chaos of the world, to rest from the chaos of your own life, from your own emotions, from your own thoughts. So if you are in a storm right now, use the storm to evolve and to find the next version of yourself. Don't allow the storm to destroy you, and don't allow the storm to wipe you away, to knock you off your feet. So that is what I wanted to share about this full moon, because it is a powerful one. It is a very transformative one, of course, like all new moons and all full moons. And you know, these are the things that are being highlighted right now. This is the energy that's rising, that's coming to the surface. There's many different aspects of this full moon and other connections that I didn't mention and I didn't talk about, because this was what I felt heavily in the collective. So this is what I felt like I needed to share. I always know that the right people will find the video that I put out. Support others on this journey by liking the video, by subscribing to the channel, by leaving a comment, energetically contributing to getting it out there in front of other eyes so that more people can hear this message, so that they also have an opportunity to work through their own shadows, through the different aspects, for them to just even recognize some of these shadow aspects within themselves that they might be struggling with, that is coming up for them right now. So thank you so much for watching, for supporting the channel, for supporting my work, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.